everyone, to episode 156 of the Backcast Podcast. I'm your host, Peng, joined by Coriander The Clown for one last time.
One last time?
Yeah. And PvP Steve. We have Steve back on, too, just to, because, you know, why not? Steve's a great personality, and I love his takes and thoughts on stuff.
He's got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Well, hey. Before you disrespect the man, what time is it right now for you, Steve? Local time.
It's 5:30 in the morning. So,
dude, Anicor, you check yourself, right? Yeah. We
okay, to be fair,
he has so much stuff to do in the rest of the day. That's why he's up at 5.
I've got plans when I've got work.
He was the one that suggested this time too, because he recognized that Anicor's a big baby and can't stay up too late. So the clown show doesn't go overtime.
Really
I mean, we can't have the clown makeup going on before work. Yada yada yada. But
you get me.
I figure I deserved to actually come back on because last time I was promised clown and I didn't.
That's
get
true.
Clown. So,
well, before we started recording, before Steven showed up, Anicor was telling me he kind of cheated. He's using the stubble on his beard as an excuse not to do the bottom half. What kind of clown is this? You better step up your game for the clown ASMR.
Is difficult to do the bottom half with all the stubble. Do you know what I mean? Isn't it? Yeah. You ever try and use face wash? Yeah. When you got a beard, it's difficult, right?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong audience right here, Anicor. I mean, like,
I will just take my word for it.
Yeah. I grew my beard out a decent amount, and it looked creepier than your clown.
Yeah,
I can't put it that way.
Imagine
it was not a good look. I was very very strongly single at the time too, and there's nothing changing that with that facial hair. Let's put it that way. Anyway, let's get into the comments from last episode. We got Lankern saying Coriander the Clown should make his own YouTube channel with ASMR. Dude,
hey,
you should do it.
People want it.
You should do it.
Yeah.
I know. Keep you busy too, right? With all the stuff you got going on. Scorpic says the nose was set all the way down on the forehead next episode. Great episode as usual.
Okay.
People love the clowns. They're not even talking about anything else.
Just for the thingy about the nose, it irritates my piercing, so I kind of have to put it here. I haven't really got too much choice.
Why don't you just get a big nose that doesn't irritate your piercing? It's just like
I feel like that would do
worse. You can barely see over it.
Also, I think we discussed how this nose is hardly a nose, although it is actually round now. So it has actually
is inflated properly.
It is inflated properly, yeah. But that first week was horrid. Yeah.
If you're a real trooper, you just tattoo your nose red for all future sake.
What shame I'm not a real trooper.
We know. Eight the Great says, last year's NAIC, my friend Flying Pizza told me his locals Munchlax and DV Sheriff farm side events and sold their prizes to the vendors to make bank. I was all over the place this NAIC, so I didn't get the chance to do side events, but maybe next year we try to snipe some good stuff. I also agree on double elim. I am perfectly fine with how it is currently, and even at non-ICs, regionals have challenges for the first 2 days and a cup on the last day. So if people really want to play Swiss, those are available. Yeah, I mean, the side events are kind of nutty.
We really needed to skip this comment. I can't lie. As if we didn't give them enough last week.
I mean, I don't know if Steve, you heard our last episode, but the side events at ICs are busted, and I know you're going to Worlds, right? I saw you post about it too. So World side events, grab up the side events as fast as you can, man. The side event tickets get you some good stuff. So
I mean,
arguably
the side events here at regionals are just it's so not worth it. You literally get nothing for anything but participating. What's
the Australian side events were dead. Yeah, the Australian side events were dead. I can't lie.
Literally at the last one at Perth, no one rocked up. There was 0 Go players there for the second day to do side events because it was
just auto win.
There's no reason.
Yeah,
you just
have to pay money.
Do you know what though?
Right? You pay money. You
you have to pay money.
And that's it. So it's
you know what? Maybe the Australian ones could not be dead, But I think it really depends on what's on the prize wall. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there is
like
no
if it's a
prize
standard prize wall
in Australia.
What?
It's literally
they didn't have a prize pool?
There's no points, there's no prizes. You
What's
pay
the
an
point?
entry fee, you get cards for entering, and you literally get nothing for winning. It's like we did a couple of side events at Brisbane.
Oh, that's terrible.
like
because I remember we were going to do it at Melbourne,
like,
and then we decided not to because like it just didn't seem worth it.
It's like I won one in Brisbane, and I said to the staff, I was like, "So what do you get? Like, what do I get for winning? Like, do I get another one card pack? Like, do I get something?" And they were like, "Oh, like." Not really. Like, and they pulled out a little notepad and they wrote on it, "First place Brisbane side event," and handed me the note. It was like, that's all we can give you, man.
Insulting, bro.
It's just like, we're not doing more.
Yeah, that's awful.
Do they
that's
not know they were talking to the 5th place Welma? Yeah. Did they not know when they came with that disrespect?
No,
get your Welma ready for those little cup side events too. It's it's really big.
Like, I won this many things at Worlds with Welma.
I know Worlds merch will be pretty good at the Pokemon Center, but honestly, I was more excited about the stuff you get from the side events at NAIC than from the Pokemon Center. So definitely something to watch out for. Turner Pond says, great to see Hurricane Kaz on the pod. Listening about the olden times about battling made me sad we don't have Sylph anymore. Also appreciate Anicor keeping the lights on this episode. I was definitely freaking out last episode. Dude, everyone talking about the clown, man. Yeah, the good old Sylph days.
I can't lie, we're back on daylight again, so let's just say there's we only have a couple hours.
Yeah. You know what they say, right? Like a lot of times, the sequels aren't as good as the first film, right? So
that's true.
We're on episode 3 right now. Infamous Smash says, with my previous comment, I'm not looking for an easy win or to avoid the top ranked players. I think playing them, I could learn the most, but I don't want that to be the end of my day. And to follow suit with the other 2 games at each event, we should get the same value. The Basement Dwellers and Prick comment was a little rough. Sorry. It's all good, man. We know you're a loyal listener as always, not a hater. Infamous Smash. Yeah, I mean, I think like again, I think the biggest issue, regardless if people prefer double elim or Swiss or not, you know, with that whole debate and combo is logistically, I don't think GO's there yet either in general, right? Like there's just one, they need to buy a bunch of phones, which again, TPCI probably has enough money for it. I don't want to speak for them, but probably does, right? Especially because we're not like selling out these GO, but we don't have like 500 plus players at the moment. I think the bigger concern is network issues. Like it's kind of trash sometimes at a regional when there's only like 30 something pairs of players playing, right? Like imagine double that or triple that, right, at events. And I think that's more Niantic score in my opinion, because I don't know about you two, but I've been lagging in GBL and stuff, and I'm playing on good Wi-Fi and everything. I'm like, what is going on?
It's dumb.
Like, it's like
even like obviously
like getting denied when they come in with a move is like a regular occurrence. Like, I hate it because it doesn't punish people that don't know how to optimize. They're like they could have thrown like a free mud shot or something, or a volt switchers or whatever, and then they don't because they just don't know or whatever, and they press it, and I get cheese because I can't get a fast move through.
Yeah, and it's not even just like Android now as well, because like you'll get occasional issues on iPhone as well. Obviously, you'll still get the one turn desync or lag, but I was getting better over taps today as well. Where you'll just hit something and then it will just throw another fast move instead.
Yeah.
I'm like,
to push back though, like obviously this is incredibly frustrating, and this is a Niantic problem, and they really need to fix itself up by Worlds. But the whole network issue, especially in a lot of those US events, that isn't a Niantic problem. I mean, at the recent ones, it's hard to tell.
That's true.
It's like because the game is in a current state. If you see an issue, it probably is a Niantic problem. But like at a lot of those, US ones that are held in underground venues, it's like that is a venue problem. It's like that's I don't really. I mean, evidently TPCI isn't really choosing the internet reliability as the number one venue factor when they're picking these places out. If that's what they're going with. So.
But I think like they always ask the vendor if the Wi-Fi is good, and the vendor wants the money, right, from the organizers. So they're like, yeah, our internet's great, fantastic, right? And then stuff will happen. I will say, even though that's like not specific Niantic issue, I still hold Niantic accountable to a degree because they could be doing LAN, like all like major esports, right? Like they could, like I know they do LAN for Pokemon Unite, right? And at the big, so they have literally zero ping because all on like a local network on a server there. But they could just do that, right? And I think obviously it's going to take time and resources to develop that from Niantic's end, but that's what all major esports that require like good internet needs, right? VGC luckily doesn't need good internet because they lag a second. It's not a big deal. You just press the button again, right? It's not like turn based unless you're on like your last second to the side, I guess. I don't know how often that happens on a move, but like, it's not like frame by frame, everything makes a difference. Whereas for stuff like Pokemon Go, like Super Smash Brothers, right? Like every RTS and MOBA, like they all need good, Wi-Fi throughout, and they just need LAN. I don't know what else to say about that, but and luckily we're not at this stage, but I know for some esports, if they're like a big name team and they want to like sabotage them, they get DDoS the team during a tournament.
That's mad.
Yeah.
That's mad.
So they'll DDoS like the whole internet, like the whole Wi-Fi of the venue. And like I saw this for, I don't know why, but for League of Legends for the Korea region, they don't use LAN for some reason. Maybe their Wi-Fi is good or whatever. But the number one team, or like the reigning world champs, kept getting DDoSed. Like they couldn't scrim. Like anytime they scrimmed, on their main accounts, they would get DDoS at like, and so then they would have to play on alt accounts where they just weren't scrimming at all. And other teams didn't want to scrim with them because then they get DDoS too, right? In the process, or like the games would just not work. But when they start playing on the main stage in Korea, they were getting DDoS live on stream. And they like delayed the game for like an hour and a half, or they had to play them offline essentially. Like they couldn't play it like live. Because they kept getting DDoS, and for some reason they weren't using LAN. I think they started using LAN after that, but like that was weird though, because I thought they would be using LAN. But that's one other thing. Look, I don't think people have enough haters in Pokemon Go to DDoS the whole network, right? That would screw over VGC as well. But that's like people would be doing that. For those that don't know what DDoS is, it's just like they like figure out your like Wi-Fi info or whatever, and just like they had to know some info about it. But if you're famous enough or they know the venue, they potentially can figure it out. And they just like they like flood the network with shit and then just mess it up. But
you've just given people ideas now. Like they weren't thinking about this before. Yeah. Now, next at Worlds, you're gonna start seeing DDoS.
Please don't. Through. But I know for sure they're going to set up LAN after that one.
True.
But please don't.
Yeah, let's not give anyone ideas.
Yeah. I know Scroll Trapper might be listening somewhere, but I doubt Scroll Trapper's smart enough. I'm just saying right there. Tripdondo says the brackets sometimes are ironic. I fly across the ocean only to end up in the same out of 16 pods as my good friend and local Martine. You may also know him as Inadequates. 2 Dutchies in the whole tournament, 2 in the same group. I'm very happy to say we both made it out. Yeah, that's like the dream scenario. But yeah, the ironic. I mean. Talk about irony. I mean, I know, right? I'm facing freaking Adib Khan and T. Wastel in back-to-back tournaments. Like 1 out of 8 brackets. Okay, what the odds of that, right? 1 out of 16? No way, right? Good. Yeah. Luckily, Triptondo's story ended better than mine. It did, at least. But I would have been fine if like 2 out of the 3 of us made it out the bracket, but that didn't happen for LA and only happened for one of us for NAIC, but it'd be like that sometimes. I don't think Tritondo had to face Inadequates though.
No.
So at least they didn't face each other, which at least there was that part. I know that it was funny because I feel like it was Steiner or Harjeff or maybe both of them were taking out a bunch of Latin players themselves, and they had to face off against each other. But by the time they faced off against each other, it was pretty far in the end though. So I think that was good, and that made for a great show too because they had mirror teams, which was we talked about last week, which was kind of wild. But that does it for our YouTube comments for this episode. My apologies if I sound kind of sick. I still am. I don't know what this is. It's not COVID though. I tested, but it's My throat's a little congested, so my apologies ahead of time. But we have
still from NAIC.
Yeah, still from NAIC. I've been taking the NyQuil and everything too, trying to rest up. I don't really get sick very often, but it does happen from time to time. All right, we have Pokemon GO's 8th anniversary. 8 years. Wow. That's kind of wild. You know, it was funny. I was watching Trainer Tips video recently. You all know Trainer Tips, right?
Yeah.
And he said, he said, I'm leaving or something like that. And then parentheses, I'm not quitting. And essentially what he's doing is he's moving out of his apartment to somewhere else. And he said he's been living in this apartment for 7 years. And like pretty much since Pokemon GO came out for 7 years, which is kind of wild, right? And I was looking back at his old clips that he bring in to that video. And it was pretty nuts. Like, I mean, he looks way different too, right? But like, it's just like how much, you know, change the game's gone as well as him. But anyway, 8th anniversary starts on June 28th, Friday to Wednesday the 7th. We got Pokemon debut Pokemon.
Oh, wait, the 7th. I'm seeing a 3.
Oh, sorry, the third. Sorry, I'm both sick and blind. Pokemon debuts. So you got Grimer wearing party hat, Muck wearing party hat. They could potentially be shiny. Meltan.
Shout out to flipping. There's this one Japanese trainer, who I'm gonna say has the largest collection of mucks in the world, because honestly, I don't know. Like there's always gonna be someone like that. Yeah, this guy has so many hundo shiny mucks. Yeah, like he's just got bare mucks in it. Yeah, and I saw this.
What's his username?
This guy is gassed. It is Vin _Yokikana. Yeah,
I was really hoping for like a muck reference in the name.
I mean, who know? I don't know what muck is called in Japanese, so maybe, but I have no idea. I'm just insane. But look, this is his recent muck haul. Yeah, muck / Grimer haul. 419 mucks / Grimers, and they're
oh my gosh, that's nuts.
Yeah. Oh, these are just the lucky ones, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, he's got bear.
I'll throw it on the screen for anyone that's curious. But that's I don't know if people can even see the full like screenshot on the screen because there's so many.
Yeah, this guy has so many.
That's
big.
These are all hundo mucks. Is that what it is?
I think so. I'm not completely sure. I do remember that he used to share like pictures of like all his hundo mucks, but can't find them anymore. But,
wow.
Yeah. Anyway, big muck fan.
That's wild.
Do you know what? You know they say that like every Pokemon is going to be someone's favorite in it. So
I really believe that's the case.
Yeah.
Name like one of my friends, his favorite Pokemon's Doduo.
That's so
Shiny
random.
Hunter Ben.
Right.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it in the podcast. It was back during it was when Speedy was on back when we had the Go Fest in Seattle, but he proposed to his now wife back during Go Fest Seattle. And no.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean with a Dodo? What do you mean?
I don't know.
Wait, you brought an ostrich over with a ring? Like, what do you mean with a Dodo?
Related.
No. Similar. It's kind of heading there, but not as crazy as this clown take, right?
In the proposal, surely.
Yeah, but you know how it was at a park too in Seattle. You know how a lot of nests have parks, right? It's a Dodo nest.
Oh,
what
mad.
are the chances of that?
Mad.
Yeah,
I think I know what Steve was getting
there was some
at,
song playing as well that I think my vlog got DMCA'd over. I made a vlog about it. But there was like a song that was like perfectly in line too. I forgot what the song was, but it was yeah.
Two birds of a feather.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Dodo. It was like it made sense for the proposal though. Yeah. But he officially got married. They officially got married at Vegas, actually, at the Sinnoh or Hoenn tour, whatever it was, 2 years ago or last year. Yeah. So I unfortunately couldn't go because I was commentating this clown's matches at OCIC.
So true, yeah.
yeah. Steve was there too, actually.
Although, you did commentate my matches.
I did commentate yours. I don't think I commentated Anicor's matches.
Nah, probably not.
I think I commentated.
I think mine was like Speedy and someone else.
Gabby.
Yeah.
Because I was on twice. I think I hit you both, and like the only important one was
you won the Ampharos one.
Yeah, one with Ampharos.
Yeah, I don't remember if I come to your second one, but I was I was sweating a little bit back then too. I didn't have a backup Bastion to make, but since I have another Bastion to make, so happy to make all the Bastion bets. There's definitely some nostalgia with the one I've been using, but you know, if it
is that your like
happens.
day one? No, it can't be in it because it's
no. I have a. Well, Bastion wasn't even out day one, but let's
yeah, but as in like day one, as in
my first Bastion. No, it's my first XL Bastion. Yeah. Actually, that was actually the biggest reason why I made Bastion is because I caught the rank 1 XL, and then so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna really grind for this. Let's see what happens, right? And it was actually King IV. If anyone wants to blame about my Bastion usage, it was King IV. Because King IV was talking with Marto Galde on Twitter about about XL Bastion, and King IV pointed out that there's a mud shot bulk point against Swampert on Bastion. I was like, wow. I was like, nah, that probably won't make a big difference, but you might win a match here or there. And let me tell you, I've won some matches because of that mud shot bulk point against Swampert. But ever since I was like, wow, maybe this thing is pretty strong. So I worked on making it. And
well, isn't that like so obviously that's your new Bastion, but when you made your first Bastion for Kingdom Cup, I sort of remember at some point you're also talking about the fact that like King IV won some
true, the Singapore King
as well.
Yeah. So all starts with King IV, so y'all can blame him. Anyway, so other things with the 8th anniversary event, Meltan, when you use mystery box, you might encounter shiny Meltan. You know, we have this like I guess yearly, I guess is the thing, but event bonuses as well. Increased chance of becoming lucky friends. That's pretty dope. Increased chance of getting lucky Pokemon trades. That's pretty dope. Speaking of which, I got a lucky Hundo Tapu Bulu the other day from just regular rerolls. Yeah,
sick.
I'm ranking in, man. I'll talk about Master when we get to our GBL segment, but it's I've been playing a lot of Master League lately. Friendship levels will increase faster than normal through opening gifts, trading Pokemon, or battling each other with raids, gyms, or trainer battles. I mean, why don't they just say just in general? Isn't that every way you can interact with a friend?
Well, it doesn't include EX raid passes, so you know, keep that in mind.
Are you sure? It says raids.
Nah, because the whole thing is you send the EX raid pass, and that's the.
Wait, EX.
So that was a friendship interaction. Like when EX raid passes existed.
Oh, the
when
old
you
school EX.
Oh,
yeah,
EX
that's true. Anicor wasn't even playing back then. He was on his break. Yeah, the old EX races raids were. Wait, you had to send a pass? You invited someone?
You could invite a new person. Like, if you got your invite, so you did a raid at the EX
You can invite
gym
one person,
and randomized, a random selection of people that raided at that gym, got the EX invite for the raid at a time.
Man,
and you could invite one person, and it counted as a friend interaction. So it was
I would be going on work breaks back then. I'd be like, hey, I got a meeting. And I just drive down, right? Because they would always be like 2 p.m. on a weekday. I'm like, who's able to make it, right? And people be finding it. But that was frustrating too. Yeah. That's how you got Mewtwo back in the day. Yeah.
I only want it back so that I can get that last friendship interaction with people that have been an ultra, one away from ultra friends.
Right. I do remember that. People be sniping people's friendship with the EX thing. Yeah. I was like, send me the invite back. No, man, this guy hasn't opened a gift in years. Like, I need to get this XP. You could get your Mewtwo some other way. I was like, all right. Event bonuses, chance of finding 8 or 88 or maybe more Gimme Gold coins when you spin a Pokestop with a golden lure. Okay. 8, okay, pretty dope. 88, pretty nice. What the heck is maybe more? Like, how much more are we talking here?
888 coming in.
I need to know, right? If they just skipping out and giving us 89 or 90, that ain't that much more, right? Give us at least 108, yeah. Interesting though. Keeps people on their toes. And then there's special bonuses for specific days. So the 28th to 29th is 1/2 egg, hatch egg distance. The 30th to the 1st is 2 times XP catching, and then the 2nd to the 3rd is 2 times Stardust for catching Pokemon. I feel like they've done this in past anniversary events, and
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Fallen Pokemon will be appearing more in the wild. Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu, Grimer, Eevee with hats, and then of course the recent Scarlet Violet starters. What's that region called again?
Paldea.
Oh, Paldea. Yeah, right. I was blanking, dude. It's that cold. I got that cold brain. Not that COVID brain fog, but the cold fog. We got a Alolan Grimer will be spawning as well if you're lucky. So definitely a lot for that muck level.
Is there a reason why this is like kind of Grimer themed?
I don't know. Why? What's the significance of Grimer in the main series game in Muck?
Don't tell me it's like some weird thing where it's like the 8th episode of the anime was the Grimer
I was
Muck
thinking
episode.
Oh, okay. You know what? Grimer is the 88th Pokemon.
Oh,
that's so specific, but fair enough.
Yeah, because what's the 8th Pokemon? It's a starter, right? So they can't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's not a starter, but it's going to be one of those like.
Well, it's a second
maybe it's
evolution.
a starter. Yeah, you're right.
What do you mean? Yeah, it's a Ivysaur, Wartortle, or
true.
Charmeleon.
Yeah.
Come on, Anicor. Get that clown math together. We have the other starters on 28th, 29th is the 2nd and 3rd gen. 30th to 1st is the 4th and 5th gen, and then et cetera, et cetera. I still am hunting for that Hundo Bulbasaur, so maybe I'll get one party hat.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty gassed about this because increased luckies from trades. And this is like kind of a nice selection of stuff for, megas and things like that. Megas and also some of them like...
Oh, this is right before the Go Fest event as well in New York.
Nice.
No,
well, why is that significant?
It's
or
not.
just...
I don't. This is not. I thought it was going to overlap a little bit, which would be kind of cool, but it's not.
It does it not? No.
No, but people probably want Go Fest spawns anyways during that time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's the pay ticket research with decent amount of stuff actually for $2 and all this other etc. stuff, some new wardrobe stuff. So overall, not a bad event. Honestly, one of the better ones in my opinion that we've seen in a while. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm loving the lucky thing, especially also since we have like we have 2 specials as well per day.
That's what I've been doing. I've been just like trading with people, and I've been doing like one person trades the old Pokemon, one person trades the new, and we've been alternating. And that's how I got my Hondo Tapu Bulu. Yeah,
because I got a 98 Kyogre the other day like that as well.
Just so what's the 14
just
stat?
doing the same HP. So.
Oh, okay. Is it functional? Is it functional? Hondo?
I don't know. Probably not, but I've given up on that anyway. So, because I realized then I would
I would actually check that because I'm pretty sure the Groudon is actually a functional Hondo.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, even if it's not, it's like I'm gonna like if I want to use it, I'm gonna power it up anyway because it's like I don't really get too much opportunity to get these kind of things. Like I don't really do my special trades. I've got loads of lucky friends that I haven't even
yammering to people.
Yeah, pretty.
Right. I got some good news for you, Anicor.
There's a functional Hondo. I don't think it is, to be honest. But I'm just saying that.
It's a functional Hondo.
Is it?
It's a functional Hondo because a Groudon's a functional Hondo too, so it's the same exact reason. They're both functional.
They're the same stats.
They have the same exact stats. Yeah, Groudon and Kyogre. Yeah. Fair enough. So. Yeah, congrats on your functional Hondo.
That's great, thank you.
Kyogre's actually still pretty busted right now too in the meta. But all right, well that does it for pretty much our only events coming up too. I know the Madrid, there was a Madrid Go Fest just wrapped up this past weekend, and we have Go Fest in New York later, upcoming and begin next month. I'll be there, so come on down. Anyway. We have we're going to discuss something too because I saw this tweet and I thought it was pretty interesting. These were the final rankings of. Oh wait, actually, I'm not actually even gonna put that. I posted the wrong thing in our agenda. My apologies. Let me post a new one. But it was actually a message from Chip Ritchie. He's one of the commentators for TCG, and he's been around the scene for quite a while. They have their own podcast as well too. He's actually the one that gave me the idea to do video podcasts. He's like, you gotta do YouTube, man. It's definitely you gotta double dip his play. And shout out to him. Anyway, so he said he tweeted this out. This was back on June 11th, a week ago. But he said which Pokemon player had the best season? Talking about TCG players. And I open up this document, right? This notepad thing that he talked about. And boy, did this guy did they break down the earnings of these players? And I'm just like, wait, this is kind of nuts that TCG players make this much. Tord Reklov, first at EUIC champion, right? So these are resumes. So I'm gonna break down the earnings. Right, first at EUIC, 4 regional and special event top cuts. Didn't win any tournaments besides that. Earned 41,000 USD on the year. Pretty good, right? Azul, also a top player. Two regional first place finishes, right? So tied with like Loud Jeffs. EUIC top 16, and then 3 additional regional top cuts. 39K region earnings. Johu Kalama, LAIC first place, EUIC top 8, regional top 8, 37K earnings. All right, this is just the average day thing. Brent Tonneson, right? Regional 1 first place, 1 second place, 3 additional regional top cuts, NAIC top 16, EUIC top 32. Also 41K. This is this is only 1 regional win, right? The rest are just top cuts in the second place. Andrew Hedrick, first place at NAIC, 1 regional win, 1 top 4 regional, and that's it, right? No additional top cuts. 44K.
Wow.
William Azevedo, 1 regional first place, 1 top 16 LAC, 1 EUIC top 4, 34K earnings. Which obviously, that's not for a lot of places, that's not enough for just just your salary, right, for the year. For some people, that is their salary for the year, to be honest, right? Especially based on the region you're at. But yeah, some of the money here is kind of wild. For NAIC, what was it? Or internationals for us? What was the prize pool?
5,000 for first place.
5,000, right?
Is it? I thought it was more. Mad.
It's 10K for first place at a TCG regional.
Mad.
Yeah. Kind of wild, right? Obviously, they have a lot more players, so we're not complaining about that aspect. But it's so it's first place for Go at international is 5,000. First place for TCG, 25K.
That's mad, man.
Obviously, our numbers aren't there yet, right? But this is definitely, hopefully, a way to incentivize more people to play. Is if we have more numbers, potentially our numbers can match that of TCG in terms of prize pool. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I looked at the regionals, the ICs, and the worlds breakdowns of who makes what money for whatnot for first place and whatever, and it's sort of all in the 3 to 5 times as much range for TCG, which obviously they have the most players and whatnot. But VG is sort of in the middle as well. They don't actually seem to earn that much more than us, in the grand scheme of things, when you compare it to TCG. So
well, especially if you compare it to the amount of players they have, right?
Yeah. That's
because they got more than double the amount of players we have, and I mean, I guess they are making roughly similar, comparable. They're making triple the amount at internationals at least.
Yeah, but at regionals, they're making $6,000 where we're earning 2.5. At worlds, they get 30 grand, we get 20 grand. It's that's not.
That's actually not that big a difference. Yeah.
Obviously,
I'll take extra 10K.
Yeah, I'd say probably because I feel like their numbers rose a lot more last season, and so maybe, and obviously they made an adjustment this season in terms of the prize pools, but maybe they just hadn't sort of predicted the numbers to be as big for VGC consistently as they have been. So perhaps that's why it's lagging behind, let's say, TCG, for example.
Did they actually adjust the other games? Or obviously they adjusted Go.
I don't know. I assume they did, but
they did, yeah.
Did they? Yeah.
But yeah, they changed the pricing structure for all the games, I think.
Did it go up for all the games?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I think there would have been quite an uproar if it only went for Go. People would think.
Well, I mean, but we were getting pennies in it, so maybe.
Well,
I don't know if there'd be that much of an uproar,
No, I remember. I think it was Worlds in London VGC and Go, the world champ got the same amount.
Really?
Yeah. And there's some Twitter discourse because I remember we talked about it in a previous episode long ago. Me and Swedish Chief. So, but yeah, I mean, I think deservedly so. I think VGC and TCG should have bigger prize pools because they just have more players. But hey, man, if we get more players playing this game, my question to you all and to the audience is it possible to play Pokemon Go competitively full time? And that's it, right? And I think that's like probably still a little bit of a stretch because one, you get taxed on all this stuff. And I know the really good players, they do other stuff, right? For TCG as well. Like they do coaching, they might make some content here or there, they have podcasts, stuff like that. So they have other ways to supplement their income, and they might have sponsors too. But yeah, it's a money maker for sure.
I think that would have to be the case though for most games that don't have like an insanely big prize pool, where even if it's at like TCG level, you're most likely going to have to do things like content or coaching or something like that on the side as well to supplement it. But I would personally consider that still full time because like all those activities are kind of just they're related, you know.
Actually, I heard Tord, he's definitely one of the best TCG players. He held a coaching session right before NAIC, and apparently he made like over 10K in an hour.
What the
It was like a coaching session. It was like an open like call session. People hopped in and stuff to like, you had to pay money to hop in, and he made like over 10K for his thoughts on the meta and stuff for NAIC. Crazy. Yeah.
I hope they got some return. Well, I guess they can't order.
Well, I don't know. Tor didn't make top cut at NAIC, so maybe some other people that hopped in his call did. I don't know. But like, I mean, like it might have not been that expensive either. It wasn't like 10K per person, right? It was like
loads of
it was
people,
like maybe if it's like, I don't know, it was like even like a few bucks here or there, and just enough people want to hop in because he is definitely, I would say, undisputably the best TCG player currently in existence. But yeah,
I mean, say that like he's the best in TCG. Obviously, he's making money in these other facets, but through competing, like off of that Chip Richley tweet, he earned 41K in attending tournaments. And now you've got to attend all of these tournaments as well. So like obviously there's tax, but then you also have to travel to EUIC, to NAIC, to all of these regionals to get however many top cards. Like I
actually wonder,
where's he based? He's European, right?
He's European,
yeah. So he was probably sponsored. Travel's going to be a lot cheaper, and also they most likely, I think they definitely do have that whole travel award to ICs thing in TCG as well.
They don't pay out for special events for the other games either, right?
I don't think so. No. Because it's just
because I know he had 4 regional / special events top cuts, but technically speaking, the special events top cuts don't even mean much for Tord because it actually didn't add his earnings. What's
the like non-money pricing for TCG in like a special event?
Probably booster packs too. I did hear from Marco though that in LATAM they got like nothing. They didn't even, like
that's peak,
they paid for it, and their medal, like some of their medals weren't even the official medals. They're like a different kind of medal. And he didn't even get like a playmat or cards for it. I was like, what? Yeah.
You're supposed to get cards because like the whole reason why it's like special events instead of regionals is because of the like mostly for, I don't know if it's every country, but most of the countries it's like gambling laws.
Yeah. But then they had to
they give cards
still,
though,
which is kind of
so they're like they'll be like, oh, it's free.
Yeah, for
but
Europe
then they just won't give you money.
For Europe, for LATAM though, apparently they didn't get nothing.
Yeah, that's a bit.
So corner was. But obviously,
then I guess also theirs were hosted like as if it was like a local winner. So
it could be an organizer thing too, right? Because it could be I don't know if Copag's the one that organized all the special events in LATAM, but
no, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It was all like separate. I think honestly, I think it was very similar to locals in terms of even the organizers were like, relatively like low key. There might have been card shops even.
Yeah.
So. I don't know if that's like a reason for it, but everything about it did seem very like local style.
Yeah, I'm sure the Latin players appreciate the
sure.
stuff, but yeah, there's a little bit discrepancy. Like I know, like Desync won 2 first place and a second place, and like I don't think he was paid out much at all compared to like NA and EU tournaments, right? In comparison, I think if he did, then maybe he would have even shown up to NAIC. But but he even
so TCG get 32 more booster packs. I think that might be like what, 1 more box.
Okay.
In the other games, so it's not much more really. Yeah,
and that's not really even listing the earnings by chip, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was like any other reason for attending a special event for a pro player aside from championship points, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, fun for one.
Yeah. I guess also if you're like being sponsored anyway, then why not?
Yeah. Also, like people like Wolfie Glick, and I mean, he is grinding for good reason. Like he does need the championship points, and if he is sort of grinding that hard for championship points at the top of that VG stuff, I'm assuming that it's kind of similar in TCG, where you really
he's actually not even doing championship points this year because since they introduced the whole if you win then you qualify, he won and then qualified and then just didn't really enter many other events.
Because he's auto qualified. You used to be able to skip to day 2, and so it was extra.
There's not.
But there's no skipping for
anymore.
Those games.
So unless you are going after Travel Award, but again in the US it feels almost counterproductive in some cases to go after Travel Award, considering how expensive travel to go after Travel Award actually is.
Yeah. I just sent you a screenshot or a tweet from someone else. This was actually the original thing in the document. It was from Brent Tonneson, who is the #1 global ranked championship points leaderboarder for TCG.
Oh, so we found out how much he earned.
Yeah, well, he was listed in. I think I mentioned his name in Chip Ritchie's tweet, but I'm just break down the pricing they got for specific stuff. So he got a top 8 at a TCG regional is $3,000, which is more than our first place, which is pretty nice. Top 32 gets 1,000. That's pretty nice too at a regional. Top 64 gets at an IC gets 2,000. Top 32 at international gets 3K, and top 16 at IC gets 5K. I say this because he had all these top placements, right? And so that's what net Brent's 41K essentially over the course of stuff. They've been traveling too. They went to Melbourne. They got first place in Melbourne. What the heck? I don't even know where they're based in now.
And also Melbourne and Perth is like, well, the thing is they okay. I don't want to say that they're Australian because, but they did say Rego. And I don't think anyone else ever would do
Rego?
that.
What does that mean?
Like for registration, they called it Rego. So I really think they're Australian just based on that. And I think that's good.
Well, because they went to Brisbane. No, but they went to all these. They went to a bunch of NA and EU tournaments.
I've Googled he's Australian.
Yeah.
Oh, he is? Wow, this guy be traveling.
That's actually mad traveling though.
Anicor. That's actually that's golden.
Hey, I learned something in the year I was there.
Like, hang on, they're shortening these words way too much.
So basically, in the comments, he actually mentions, because someone's just like, "Oh, did you profit?" And he mentions how much it cost him. He was like, roughly 13K flights and 6 to 10K of like food, accommodation, rego. So he reckons probably around 32K profit, which
pretty good.
I don't know if that maths really adds up, but
no, because it's the 41 grand prize winnings and then it's 14 grand in travel awards. So it's actually 55 grand is sort of
14K in travel award.
And then well, I mean, he's in Australia, isn't he? So he's he's getting a travel award to EUIC.
14K.
Well, you get 14K.
Oh yeah, because he's getting it to the ICs as well. Yeah,
it's presumably like I don't know how this stuff works. I'm sure
that's true.
Enter EUIC from Australia.
So do you think that he's going to an IC and then just like hanging around and going to a regional and then coming back? I don't know if any of these dates line up.
EUIC to
well,
Perth was
LAC
1 week
no.
after each other. So
LAC
that's
was the
EUIC
one.
to Perth is too much. Yeah.
Maybe the LA NAIC one.
Actually. Yeah, maybe the LA. Yeah.
But like, I mean, the thing is, like, at the same time too, like, you gotta just stay, like, hang around for 2 weeks, right? I don't know if they have the time for that. But that's a lot of travel too.
Dude, that's mad.
He lost like 5 days worth of just traveling back and forth between LA and NAIC. Didn't even place in LA, but did get top 16 at NAIC. So yeah, kind of wild.
Time. Like, this is
kind of wild. Yeah,
this is actually full time.
13 regionals and 3 internationals.
But again, they do coaching,
travel works.
so that as well.
Well, let's get some Go comparison. So, like, this is all, TCG, VG and stuff. So I've just pulled up, like, Dunebug, for example, who, like, this season he attended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I should pull up Dracoviz. I shouldn't be looking at his Liquipedia for how many he actually attended.
Well, you're looking for the earnings, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, like,
Liquipedia is not always accurate too, but it's a pretty decent site.
It looks
I don't know
good
who's updating that stuff.
But on Dracoviz, he attended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 events this season, 2 of them being ICs. And he pulled out 3rd in Sacramento, 1st in San Antonio, didn't place in Charlotte. He got 1st at Knoxville, 2nd at EUIC, 1st at Orlando. So we've got 3 regional wins, plus 2nd at IC, plus 3rd at another regional. And with all that, he made, $4,000, 6.5, 9.5. He made 12 grand in prize winnings. And then he also got Travel Award on top of that. So what's Travel Award? Oh, it's in region Travel Award, isn't it?
It's in region. Yeah. It's like 2,000 or something. I don't
know how much would he have earned if he was a TCG player with that kind of record?
Oh, that's hard to.
Is this too much to ask you?
All right, wait. All right. Give me the placements, and then I'll read off how much Brent made.
First in regionals. So he's got 3.
First is 1K. 10K.
So that's 30 grand already. Then he placed 3rd in another regional.
3rd at another regional is actually. Let me just pull up the TCG.
Actually, I've got it
right. So 3rd is 5K.
Okay, so he's up to 35K, and then 2nd at an international. That's got to be huge.
I need to find that one. 2nd international is
15 grand.
15 grand. So how much would?
That's at 50K.
50K. Okay. Well,
He's
what about his
more
other
than some of these
placements
TCG players?
Because the other top placements. So what about his other placements for Go?
So he came top. There's no distinction between top 16 all the way to top 32, right? In the prize pooling, it's just
there is. Oh, there is for TCG. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, top 24, I guess.
Okay. That's 1K right there.
Okay, he did that twice. So that's another 2K. So that's 52K.
Yeah.
And then what else has he got? I mean, he didn't do great at NAIC. And then is that it? And he was top 16 at Pittsburgh.
That's 2K right there.
54K.
He is playing
plus Travel Award. Oh no, that included. Wait, no, it didn't include Travel Award.
No, it didn't include Travel Award.
No, well, he didn't get Travel Award for internationals either, right? So
yeah. So if he'd have got Travel Award for internationals as well, assuming that he was in that range at every international, probably not for LAIC, but I reckon definitely for the other 2.
Yeah, so he would have been like over almost 70K pre-tax.
Yeah, that's insane.
So,
wait, what's this? Oh yeah. If you include Travel, but without the Travel Award and stuff. What's he at? Just from
56.5.
$56,500. Wait, what? Where's the 500 come from?
The 2.5 Travel Award.
Oh no! Take out the Travel Award. Yeah.
54K.
Just 54K. Dang,
mad.
That's nutty. Yeah, because I don't think they include Travel Award for the Chip Ritchie stuff, but he would have made.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, like it's harder to get these placements for Go than for TCG probably, but still,
other way around.
Wait, what do you mean?
You said harder for Go than TCG.
Oh yeah, harder for TCG. Yeah.
Other way around. Yeah.
That's a good chunk of money.
Is anyone else even in the same universe as Dunebug in terms of like prize winnings? Like Emmy Weedle got
this
first
season?
in IC, but He doesn't do much more.
Well, also, there's so many special events at EU that's kind of like messes with it, I think.
Yeah,
but
just sort of
I don't think Emmy Weedle's
stuff away.
Yeah. No, I don't think Emmy Weedle would be.
Maybe
I don't know
Pocket,
if Hard Jeff would be the closest.
Yeah, where's
Do you think
Pocket at actually?
Hard Jeff, I don't think there's enough tournaments. Pocket actually went to a decent amount. Obviously, it costs more to go to all these.
Actually, Pocket's kind of stacked. I think Pocket could give him a run.
All right, let's calc this. Let's calc this. Let's do the regionals first. Yeah.
Okay, regionals first. So he didn't get any wins, but he got 3rd place twice.
Okay, that's 10K total, 5K each.
He then came top 6 once.
Okay, that's 3K.
That's 13K. He then came 9th place 3 times, top 16.
Okay, that's 2K each, so 6K on top of that.
Okay, so up to 19 grand. Then he came top 16 once.
That's still 2K as well.
Okay, there's 21. Then he came top 64 once.
There's nothing for that one. Yeah, it's just top 32.
And then I think one top 32 as well.
Okay, so that's 1K for that.
Okay, so that's 22
and he only went to EUIC or NAIC, sorry, and that's 25K.
That's a huge boost. That's instantly he's up to 47K.
Oh my gosh.
That's mad. Yeah, that international winnings is really
yeah.
Really
that's why like Emmy Weedle is in my head, because like that's an instant 25K bounce.
Yeah.
But like
yeah,
47K.
That's pretty nuts.
It's a pretty good season. I know, he mentioned in his tweet, like, he felt like he hadn't actually won anything, even though he had a pretty good season, all things considered. But like,
his winnings will probably cover actually his travel, right? And obviously his mom attended all these tournaments too, so it might be covered their travel combined. Maybe not even, but
probably.
But if you're a TCG player, it definitely cover your travel for sure. That's kind of wild though. But again, we're definitely playing a little like hypotheticals here on what could happen if that was the case. I think if the game continues to grow, hopefully we'll come close to that maybe in a couple years, but who knows?
Look, I mean, to be honest, even like the TCG numbers, like I don't think that you can just be a player full time. If you want to do this full time, you've got to stretch into the coaching or content creation.
Definitely.
But again, it means you don't need a secondary job though.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I feel like
you can make Pokemon your full time job. That's quite possible.
But there's some people that do that already, right? But you can't compete.
Alone.
Yeah, unless you get like sponsors. However, this actually does bring up my next point. Is you all know? Did I mention this last? I think I mentioned this last week with Hurricane Cass on here, but some TCG players got sponsored by Disguised Toast. You all know Disguised Toast, the streamer. Oh, I didn't mention it. So he has a esports org now for maybe like the past year or so called Disguised. Yeah. And he has like an esports team for League of Legends and Valorant and maybe some other stuff. I know those are the two main ones he funds. And he sponsored a couple of TCG players for NAIC.
Yeah, right.
Why?
Yeah. Cool.
What did he? I guess he's got an esports team.
Yeah, he doesn't make any money off of it. Like he barely I don't even think he comes close to even breaking even. He just loses money. Yeah. But he just does it for the love of growing esports, I guess. Yeah. Esports orgs do not really make much money at all, if any. It's mostly based on like potential sponsorships and ads and stuff afterward, or like merch. But yeah, so he sponsors some TCG players, which is kind of nuts. They all wore like the Disguise shirts and everything too, and I think it was like a one-time thing for NAIC. But hey, if esports orgs start getting into, I mean, I know there's some ready for Pokemon Go, but not like the really big ones. I wouldn't even call Disguised Toast esports org big, but he has some semi-pro level teams on League and Valorant, I think too. But it could be pretty big. I know Dune has Logger. I never actually asked him about it too, but I was curious if they actually sponsor some of his travel.
Yeah, I don't know what they do.
They've got to, is my guess. Because there's no way that they're just giving him a free jersey and tweeting about him every day that like that's going to be enough to like sign on, right? Like I think Doombug's smarter than that to say like, I don't know, I think I'm worth more than that, right? I will say the biggest and most legit esports org is 7-Eleven though, Mexico.
Yeah,
dude, they actually be, and to my knowledge, they do sponsor the travel for their players. So that's what something told me, which is pretty dope. So if you cut out the travel costs, some of these Latin players could be making some money too as well if these special events weren't screwing them over
as well. Because like obviously 7-Eleven are huge, you know. Like,
dude, they be watching Ash and Ash right after that second place finish. They'd be like, that guy didn't have a jersey or nothing. They're like, wait, he's in Mexico too. Like
they were printing it.
Snatch him up before Worlds, right?
Yeah. I could see
that. Ash and Nash, what a performance again too. I mean, just put himself on the map big time and gave himself a travel award on top of it too, out of nowhere. Like that's crazy. That's absolutely wild.
Man. I mean, wouldn't know, but
for real.
When it comes to all the esports stuff, like it is very much a case that it seems to be moving towards that direction of like Disguised Toast and like Ludwig and Moist Critical have their esports team as well. And like,
did they start esports teams? They did.
Yeah. Moist Critical started one Moist Esports, and then he combined with Ludwig, who was also doing Mogul Money. And I think originally they were Moist Mogul, and then they just shortened back down to Moist, I think. But gotcha. Essentially, like their promo video for it was like throwing a bunch of money into a fire because they were like, because they talked like I heard this guy still talking about. He's like, dude, I'm just losing money, right, paying these players and having these esports orgs. But I mean, it helps to grow their brand, I guess, and then also like I don't know if it pays off, or these guys just have too much money that they don't know what to spend it on. But it's I mean, if they're making money, then hey, go. I know Ludwig sold his company for $2, right? Like, it's like crazy, but. He still works for the company, but he sold his like majority shares and stuff and ownership of the company, which is kind of wild. But hey, man, it must be nice. Very much. We need the content creators that are rich enough to just prop up some the sinking ship of esports, and then
because for a lot of the esports too, like I know for League, actually on the semi-pro level that's not the case, but for the pro level they all live in LA. Because they all play in person, so that's how. Do
you know what? I'm not gonna lie, bruv. If I had an esports team, you know how they have like TikTok houses, where it's like all these TikTok creators who live in the same house, bruv.
One of my buddies in LA actually asked if I wanted like said we should.
If you want to move into a
content house, well, not even a TikTok house, it's like a content house. He does make a lot of content on TikTok and stuff, but
was there any overlap between them and the stuff you do?
He makes League of Legends content, but we could just do like content. Like I don't know, like if you look at like what offline TV does, they make content on stuff that's not related to games at all. Right? They're just like influencers and stuff, and then obviously if they bring someone else new on, they grab each other's followers and stuff like that. But I don't know. I have cats, so I don't want people messing with. Like I follow some other content creator, and she has roommates, and her roommates left the door open. Her cat ran out. She was like super heated about it, and she still hasn't found her cat. This was like months ago. She's still looking for her cat. Yeah, she's so pissed about it. But like, what are you gonna do? Sue your roommates? Like, it's not gonna happen, right? So, I don't know. But hey, sorry, what were you saying? So the TikTok houses where?
I feel like that'd be like. Obviously, it's I don't know. I don't really know where all the money comes from when it comes to like a lot of esports teams, unless it's like a big esports esport. But I feel like
a lot of it's just their own pockets.
Like
Moist Critical and Ludwig.
But I think that'd be kind of sick, to have like an esport house where it's like everyone's like training together. They're also physically training together as well. Yeah.
What do you mean? You want them to work out, or
bruv? Like I feel like.
You're doing too much, man. This man's not training for the boxing at all. I guarantee if I lived in the same house at Anicor, he'd be still doing the same old clown stuff, right? And not work. I'd be working out. He's just be like, bro, I'm too busy, man. I got so many plans. I got my friend's birthday. I haven't seen him in years, right? I got to see him.
Nah. But if I was living in the house, I'd be dedicated.
No, I don't.
That'd be my job. That'd be my job. What else would I have to do?
I don't know. Clown ASMR, I guess.
That would be my job, and I'll be doing
you
it
could
well.
not be in that content.
I'll
That
be
would
like
not be quiet enough
in the
for your
room
ASMR.
training and stuff, and you'll be in the next room and be like, Coriander's here. Just speaking to your microphone, making ASMR content.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, I don't know. That could be a fun time. Anyway, it was just a little interesting thought exercise. I'm glad we were able to break down some of the Go players as well. That was a great idea. I forgot who mentioned it out of you two, but we'll see. We'll see if that ever happens one day. That being said, we can talk a little bit about GBL too. One thing that's a little disappointing about GBL this season is they just recycle all the cups from past seasons.
Yeah,
there's no new cups. But I will say, I was playing some Master League. Have y'all been playing Master League?
No,
dude.
I need to start at some point.
Dude, let me tell you, these Master League players are gaming, dude. I'm like in the 2,200 elo range, and they be catching my combo plays and like doing all sorts. Like I swear, Master League players are a whole different level. Like there's like I feel like Master League, like every single game I play, if I make one decision wrong, I just lose the game. Unless they make more decisions wrong than me, right? And I'm just like, it's so hard. If I play Summer Cup, I'd be climbing too. But in Master League, I'm just trying some Master League. I'm playing like meta stuff like Landorus, Therian Form, Mewtwo, and Dialga Origin. Like these are good Pokemon, right? And I'm just getting rolled sometimes in these matches. Sometimes I feel like I'm rolling them, but you know, like 2,200 elo range. Like in my opinion, I feel like I'd probably be higher if I really tried. Like from the beginning of the season, but like I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I'm like going negative a lot, right? And the thing is, I was talking about Madrid earlier and Japan's Go Fest. It was in Sendai. But they had the dust the dust main and the dust
then
the Necrozma fusion stuff. And some people complain how they're broken and stuff, but they're actually not that good in my opinion.
You don't think so? I only saw one video today. It was on like Home Slice Henry. It was like nighttime clasher using the
why are they not on the rankings? Am I tripping?
On PV Poke?
Yeah, on PV Poke. They're not on the rankings for some reason.
Might have not updated, to be honest.
To say that I don't pay attention to Master League is an understatement.
Oh no, they are on the rankings.
You in Great League?
Wait, what?
Is 7th.
Oh, it's oh, you gotta type in Necrozma. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll just type in. Yeah. So Dong Wings, the what do you call it? What was it?
Lunala one.
Lunala fusion is actually better. Apparently, it beats like Palkia Origin.
It says better on the rankings, but like it's because it's still got the typing of Lunala, right? So it's like double. Yeah,
I actually very satisfying. I actually one shot it with a Shadow Ball from Mewtwo. I say swap Mewtwo, and it's Psychic Ghost with Shadow Claw and Dark Pulse, right? So pretty good typing coverage from Mewtwo. They shield. I think I went straight Shadow Ball. They shield it, and then I guess they lost track of counts, and I cap on them on the second one. They let it go. One shot Shadow Ball, right? Double super effective Ghost and Psychic type. They just top left real quick. I was like, yeah, that's what you get. But Dawnwiz is pretty good. Dust main is just like, it feels like a worse Solgaleo. I face one. It's same typing as Solgaleo. Steel Psychic. It's got Shadow Claw, which is pretty good, and the Dark Pulse Sun Steel Strike, but it just doesn't feel as good as Solgaleo does. I don't know if it's like less bulk or what, but
well, the bulk's got to be the same though, isn't it? Because the stats are the same.
Are they?
Yeah, they're based on the stats of the. Unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the stats are the same.
No, the stats are different.
Are the same.
Are they not?
They're not the same as
the Necrozma stats. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's got more attack, the Dust main than Solgaleo, more attack and more defense. Sizably more, like 20 more for both, but it has a lot less HP. It has about 50. It has 54 less HP than Solgaleo. That's a big difference.
Yeah,
it's pretty frail. Now I think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Lunala. Let's see, Lunala. It's got more attack and defense. It's the same thing. Oh wait, Lunana and Solgaleo have the same stats, so that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So it's
yeah. Maybe I guess the stab on the Dawn Wings helps it out a bit more. Just got a lot of neutral play into a lot of things in it. And there's not really any dark types in the meta, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, I did run into Shadow T-Tar recently,
now.
but that's about it. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Honestly, a Moongeist beam on a Shadow T-Tar, I mean, I imagine that probably does better, right?
Well, we don't have to imagine. We could just see right here. Let's take a look right here. It does 105 damage, 104 damage.
50%, yeah.
That's actually a good chunk of damage for resisted.
Yeah.
That's this thing hits pretty hard. Yeah. But anyway, that was my thoughts on it too. We have I know our fellow friend Dijon Jin hit number 3 on the leaderboards today.
Mad.
Yeah, he was real mad when I tweeted out for our Cool Cats recruitment that he was washed up. And I was like, hey man, I couldn't even tweet out that you were a 2-time Worlds qualifier because you didn't even qualify for Worlds this year. And you talk about how easy it is on the championship point circuit, right? He didn't make it. But hopefully he gets the judging gig for Worlds, because if not...
Yeah, that'd be a piss take. I'm not going to lie.
Well, yeah. We don't know what the criteria is, but he said he's going to cry at home if he happens.
Yeah,
He's not even going to go.
I feel like he's just below the... Like, he didn't do any events, did he? I think he was just...
He did it a lot right off the bat. He almost qualified for Worlds, like, within the first half of the year.
Man.
So I thought he was definitely going to do it, and then he just, like, kind of, like, took it chill and just judged a lot of events. Which props to him, right? Like, shout out to our judges for doing that stuff. Like, I'm like kind of roasting him, but not really, because like he definitely qualified for Worlds if he wasn't judging so many events and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
But hey, maybe
damn, he missed out on 20 points.
He was 20 points away.
21 points. 21 points. Yeah,
like he's 479.
Yeah.
He didn't even max out his locals either. So
yeah. Oh mate. Oh.
Well,
also, he went to some TCG locals as well. He really didn't max out his locals.
Oh, he did?
I was playing other games, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I know like Fish and a Heater, he went to Bologna, and it was like, this is the last chance to qualify. There were no more locals at that point. It was like, this is
yeah.
And he got
him and Mikey Morgs,
close.
right?
Yeah. I don't.
But Mikey had already qualified by that point.
Oh, he just went to Bologna as well. Because I know, I remember looking at the Bologna bracket. I was like, "Why are there 2 Australians here?"
Yeah, they were both there. Both sort of coincidentally. Like, I don't think either of them traveled to Italy for that. They just happened to sort of be around. But Fish quite barely sort of didn't reach championship points at Bologna, and so he finished at 245 CP out of the 250 he needed to qualify as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's expensive to come to US, but like, why not just fly to NAIC, right? Like, the chance of getting points here is so much easier.
But that's what, instead of Bologna, you mean?
Well, if because I think he was already at Bologna for something.
He was just going to be there. He didn't
just
going
to be there. So
flying
to
the US for 5 points. And then imagine you don't get it. Bruh.
Wow. I mean,
that's mad.
But to be fair, at IC, it's much easier to get points.
Yeah.
I went 1 and 2 and I got 100 points, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I got a buy, right? And then I went 1 and 2, but still, like, it's like, it wasn't like I won 2 games, 2 total games. That's it.
Yeah.
I
mean, and that's the thing is, like, looking at when I sort of crunched the numbers on the 2023 season, I went like hypothetical, like what would things look like if we were in the championship point system? And I sort of, mathed it up and whatever. And like, I would have qualified just because of like pretty much based on OCIC plus top 6 at Sydney. But
internationals are busted for
like
championship
crazy.
Points. But would either of you ever compete at LAIC?
I'd love to, The only, what my issue is?
It's expensive though.
That's my issue. Oh no, the tape's on my nose.
The nose fell off, in case anyone's curious on the audio version.
Yeah, that was a bit sus. No, I really want to go to LAIC. And I was considering potentially trying to do it this year. The only issue for me is that one, it's how like how last minute they kind of announce it, because you know sometimes I
they
feel like
announce it
they
like
didn't even
pretty
announce
soon
it.
to the events because they don't
Yeah,
announce
not even
international
like
for a
at the
while.
beginning of the season. Like
Yeah,
sometimes just like a month and a half before the actual event happens, isn't it? So it's like the short notice, but also I would want to go and then be able to just like do some other stuff afterwards as well. And this year for me personally, like I want to go to Brazil for Carnival next year. But like the gap, obviously, there's like a huge gap in time, right? So yeah, just like I can't find something to do to like go to LAIC and then like do something else afterwards. That I can't just do like at any other point. So
like you could probably find like I'm sure it would be close enough to say a North American regional or something that you could sort of.
Yeah, but that's long, man. I don't want to go to South America and then go to the US.
Sure, fair enough. I mean,
you gotta have that Brent Tonneson, mindset, man. This guy made all this money traveling from Australia.
Dead at the trip, go to US after.
Hit up those regos,
No, but I will like around the time of Carnival, I am gonna see if, and again, the thing is that like with Brazilian regionals as well, they're all like not very many of them get announced early enough. But I'm hoping that maybe I can go to Carnival and then hit up a regional afterwards, or maybe beforehand.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Might perform a bit better.
I mean, I'm definitely. Well, I wanted to go to NAIC this season, but I just couldn't because the
you were in South
clashed.
Africa.
It just did not work out. Actually, when I got back from South Africa, like I mentioned in my Discord server, I was like, back on home turf, like ready to go, and like someone messaged me like, please don't tell me you're at NAIC and I missed you. And I was like, no. Not back from there. So. But next season, I sort of do like the idea of trying to shoot to qualify, which again, ideal world, all of the Australian regionals are going to get streamed. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So then
you can't compete in those if you're casting them, right?
Exactly.
So you gotta pull the Brent strategy.
You can hire people, man. Well, not hire people, but
Well,
I think he wants to also like do the commentary, right? Like it's not about like what's the point of working all this time to get a stream just to not be on stream, right?
No, I don't know. I just assume it was like a community thing,
Yeah, I mean, like I like the idea of casting. There's also not that many casters around in Australia, especially when.
Y'all had to hit up Rise Occasion to hop in. That's what you know.
That was a last minute shenanigan. But like it was originally a caster for Australians, and then there was, for reasons that I probably can't discuss, we had a gap all of a sudden, and I was like, heck. And I sort of like messaged a lot of people and was like, like I messaged Yakko and I was like, hey, could you do it? And he was
he would have been sick, but he had
originally what I really wanted
I saw he joined a European team. He joined Wasted Potential.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Called it. He's just like really good friends with him, innit? So.
Oh, is that what it is? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
this guy's got.
Because I know, like with
I know a lot of Europeans smack talk him too. So he's like, I'm gonna start playing in your region and beating you.
Yeah, bruv.
And then we'll see who's better, me or Human Catcher Bug.
I mean, that one's been proven. Hey,
true. He's already retired now. He's gone. So
after that one world,
it's gonna be sick to have him in Europe. Can't lie.
Yeah, I think he's got the sleep schedule for it as well. So
does
he?
He
really does. Yeah.
I
thought he used to work nights.
My kind of guy.
Turns out.
He's grinding at night. Just doing random stuff like me.
Yeah. Anyway, I season that so this season, because I hopefully won't be able to compete in any of the Aussie ones, then it sort of would leave it to locals plus hitting up some ICs to try and pick
if
up
you go to every here's a strategy, Steve, right? I got the perfect proposal for you. If you go to ICs, first off, the competitor merch they give you, pretty good, right? Like look at this hat, right? Exclusive, right? You can sell that for some money if you want to resell it. But the competitor swag, you can't even buy in the Pokemon Center. And honestly, I think the competitor swag is better than a lot of stuff you could buy at the Pokemon Center, to be honest, at these ICs at least. So there's that. But also, if you make a deep enough run, you get your money's back, right? From just placement. And the other option is if you don't, you farm the side events, like I said in the last episode, and you get your money back anyway, because all the good players are playing, and you just farm all these Go side events, and you get all these, like, ignore the plushies. Don't do what I do and get 2 freaking sleeping plushies, right?
Yeah,
get all the cards, and then just resell the cards for like hundreds of dollars per box, and then there you go. Easy.
Do you know what? I'll say one thing.
Easy way to fund your travels.
A lot of the stuff that you get from ICs, so like the Pokemon Center stuff, or even the like competitor stuff, I reckon those would sell quite well in Australia, because obviously you guys don't have a Pokemon Center.
Oh, we actually sort of do now.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Literally, in the last month, they've
Yeah.
just pulled out the online store for the first time ever.
Wait, what do you mean? You all weren't able to order stuff from Pokemon Center online?
Nope.
I know
there's
Marcho,
certain places in the world that can't do that.
Yeah, Marcho was telling me that too, because in Argentina he can't either.
Yeah.
So he was looking for specific stuff at the NAIC Pokemon Center, which makes a lot more sense now that why so many people are going. Because I'm just like, a lot of the stuff you get in the Pokemon Center ICs, you can just get online. They're like, not in my region. It's like,
we had to. It's like on the Perth regional stream, like Debbie got me like this huge Wailord pin, which we sort of comically brought out halfway through. Like it's massive, and like I had it on the suit jacket, and she had to like order it to someone in the US, and then they shipped it to Australia.
Oh my gosh!
Because that's the only thing you do. But like,
hey, you could be the middleman now for all the Australians. Yeah.
Oh, me?
I'll bring it
back.
Not
you. I'm talking. What do you mean?
I mean, I could as well. I could as well, you know.
I don't know. Hey, I trust PPC.
I'm very well
I
versed
trust the clown, right? The clown to smuggle me stuff, right? He's gonna come back with Digimon plushies instead. What's this? Like, yeah, he's pretty much a Charmander. Like, okay.
And like Agumon, you know.
History of deliverables.
Dude, honestly, that series fumbled. I feel like they had such a good TV show and everything, and they just didn't capitalize on the merch and like longevity of the show. I feel like I know it's still around. I still see Digimon stuff from here or there.
They had a little reboot recently.
But it's just like they were like they could have easily gone toe to toe with Pokemon. I feel like, you know, but
I don't know. I was a kid at the time. I thought it was pretty sick.
Oh no, it was but they just ended. I remember watching a show and I watched the last episode. It's just done.
You watched the last episode? Mad.
Well, like the last episode of when I was a kid watching it, right? The main series. I watched every episode. Yeah, it was good. And they showed like they all grew up and had their own kids that looked just like smaller versions of them. Like they're dressed the same too, with the same haircuts. It's like, what the heck? This artist got lazy at the end. But it was cool though, because actually what I liked about that show more than Pokemon, the anime, is that they actually aged. Freaking Ash Ketchum been the same freaking age forever, right? But they actually aged the characters, and they actually fast forward in time too, so they really aged them. But it was cool to see that actual progress. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, not as good for a forever show, though, is it? I mean, it's...
Yeah. Now, then you just do like what Yu-Gi-Oh do, where they just introduce a new generation.
I don't. Yeah, like a different main character. I don't like that play though either, because it's like you're gonna lose audience no matter what doing that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, you know,
I think they're doing that with Pokemon with Ash Ketchum, right now, right? Like it's like Ash Ketchum got replaced.
He's dead. Yeah.
Oh, he's dead? What do you mean he's dead?
Well, I mean, he's probably not dead. Well, I mean, he's got to be dead by now, right? But like,
what do you mean he's got to be dead? I don't understand. What do you mean by dead? Like his character was literally on the anime. What do you mean he's got to be dead? Who is dead? Not the actor, right? The voice actor, at least for the dub version. Like I literally saw her at Worlds last year.
But
Worlds again.
Well, he's not in the show anymore, isn't it? So like,
yeah, dead is not like the correct terminology. That's really misleading, Anicor.
Man, right? I haven't seen this guy in like 6 months. Dead, he is got to be dead.
No one dies in Pokemon. Pokemon don't even die. They get knocked out, right? They get KO'd, right? Yeah. He just went off to do his own thing, or wherever they retired the character.
You know they're gonna, wheel this guy out of the nursing home.
Dude,
every now
you know, if anyone from TPCI listens to this episode, the moment they hear dead, they're like, dead.
I have a heart attack.
This man's blacklisted from any TPCI official working events in the future
for sacrilege.
Yeah,
I mean, you're already gonna make that call when they tune in and see that's how he dresses.
Now we do have a Bucephalon event coming up that we can use him for. Yeah, just imagine Anicor fully dressed up Bucephalon on stilts. That would be so funny.
Bro, do you know what? Yeah,
dude, you should look into that for the next Pokemon Go Fest. Anyone from
it's one of
Niantic?
those...
Yo, you know they got a European tournament that day. I'm sure Anicor wouldn't be opposed to being flown out to Japan at NA as well for the Go Fest
if
it
it's
meant
free,
he had dressed up.
let's run it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Brev, look at this Blacephalon, yeah.
What are we looking at here? What, you sending me something? What's going on?
Yeah, here's the... That
What
could be me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, send it to Steve as well.
Yeah.
Throughout the episode.
So left out here.
That's I think this Blacephalon's a little bit more shaped than you, I would say, Anicor.
Yeah, but I got
a few more curves, but
I can do some training.
yeah.
Also, yeah, actually, Blacephalon's supposed to be bare skinny in it,
so when you join your content house and start training up,
you'll fit the you'll fit the look much better.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have a brief tea topic as well that I saw recently. This is from Billa VGC, a fellow VGC player, and I think he's done some commentary here or there, and he's actually
I feel
married.
like
he's married to Lou as well.
Yeah, I feel like he was involved at a, I don't know what kind of level, but he was involved at a certain level with some of the like organization in Europe, or maybe it was just the streams in Europe, but I know he's been involved at like a higher level than just being a player.
Yeah. But he often posts about random takes, and I follow him too. I think he has some pretty good takes as well. But so he was quote tweeting a tweet from someone else that said, "Confirmed in our leak email that the new Play Pokemon season, the 2025 season, does indeed start on July 1st. This is for VG, which I assume it does for Go as well. Interesting. One of my VG friends' local events are now challenges in cups, just like TCG and Go. Curious if they change anything else about locals." So I think they had some different stuff too. They had like,
it was mid-season showdown, and then something
they had
else,
like league stuff or something. I forgot what it was, but they changed it to standardize it, which is fine. And then Bill of VGC responded with, "Let me put this into perspective. Most TCG league had zero interest in hosting VG events so far. This was compensated by individual professors hosting VG events outside of leagues. These professors might no longer do this. Your VG scene depends on local leagues adopting VG. I've contacted every German. Bill is in Germany. Every German TCG league in September 2023, offering support to kickstart VG events in their leagues. Want to know how many started VG events this year? Not a single one." And he showed an email too of this. For comparison, top maps show TCG leagues and the local events. Bottom map shows VG locals, and here's an image of it. And there's like, it's like a map populated with events, and then like pretty much none in the VG screenshot. There's so much potential, but VG players have little to no value to TCG stores who already share the tournament space between multiple TCGs already. Unless TPCI provides support for hosting VG locals, I don't see this changing anytime soon. We've already seen little interest leagues had in hosting Go locals this year. It is also sad to see that they're keeping 2 tiers for Go locals. Honestly, no need for some other stuff. This is VG language, I think. For full transparency, VG locals were also getting out of hand. Little to no monitoring, multiple events on the same day / weekend. There had to be some changes. It just seems very drastic. So I don't know exactly what the specific changes happened, specifically that changed VG to challenging Cubs that actually hurts them. But it seems like that.
From what I gather, because I actually, when I read this, I found it super, super interesting, right? Because when I've been seeing changes in the Go circuit over the past 2 years, I'm always like, and I've mentioned this on the podcast before, where I'm just like, how have we're operating with like a lot of the same rules that the video game and the card game have in the past, and I'm like, well, how has it taken us to change this thing? Like, how has nobody else noticed that this wasn't like a great thing in the start, right?
Yeah, we talked about this too, which is
and I think the locals one was one of them as well, where it was like, obviously we some people and like people in certain regions or areas and stuff like that, they're struggling maybe a bit more than others at getting stores to host locals. And I was saying how maybe it's a case of approaching the stores with a different sort of, in a different way, right? Like making it a bit more of a something that sounds like it's beneficial to them. Because in my head, I was thinking, well, why would they host VG and not Go? Like, we're taking the same amount of space, we're probably using the same amount of resources, and equally, both games aren't card game players, so there's no, necessary like interest on the like card side. But it turns out, based on Biller's tweet and a few other people as well, that actually with VGC locals, they didn't need to host it in a card shop. They could get professors to host them independently wherever they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they've been doing. So, the places that couldn't get a card shop to agree, they'd be like, okay, cool. We're just going to rent out this schoolroom on the weekend, or like, we're just going to go to like a shopping mall. And as long as there's a professor there, or like a judge or whoever's necessary to be there, then they can run the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Now they're on our system where they actually have to get a card shop. And now they're in the same boat as us.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Which is wild because, it really.
That's gonna hurt for sure.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense, but then also it's like it's kind of wild because it's like, well, surely they heard about the issues we were having, and so, I mean, does it make sense to put VGC on the same plan as us? If we were having the same kind of issues, do you know what I mean?
It's even harder too for VGC because they can't even host like a tournament at a park. They need Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
like
well,
for
need
us,
something
like
to plug. Well,
like we've had like locals at a park, but like we could use their data, right? But
that's true, yeah.
No, but in his last tweet in the thread, he's like, VG locals getting out of hand. There were no monitoring. There had to be some changes. I don't think any of us are experts in like what those problems or challenges and stuff were. So like, I think there's probably reason there for why TPCI sort of made the move to the same system as our locals. But at the same time, obviously that just raises the exact same issues that we've been having this last, year plus for, NA players, I guess. Yeah. But like, I know I didn't realize that VG was different because in my state, it was sort of famous that like VG locals literally crashed to zero for years because none of the stores in the entire state wanted to do them. So I just assumed that it was the same deal, but maybe it was just like they do have two different modes of thingo going on and no one did local. So they just had to do the other one, I guess. But like, I sort of wonder if this is going to be either a good thing or a bad thing for us as Go players. Now, assuming TPCI makes no changes, they don't provide incentives or whatever else. Because on the one hand, we're going to have VG players contacting stores as well to try and make these things happen, which could, maybe they're better convincers than we are at trying to get some stores to kick into gear. But by the same token, they could also be competing for the same sort of extra room as us for space in stores. Because obviously, like as the tweet said, like all the card games are way more important than us. Like all of the Yu-Gi-Oh card games, like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon TCG, like those are the ones that they are going to support thick and thin. They want those tournaments in their stores. So like just in the spare weekends that they've got on the side, or the spare days with the spare room, I'm sort of concerned that we're going to see some VG versus Go shenanigans going on, and it could get a little more problematic.
Do you know what? So I was actually thinking about it, and in terms of like how I was going to approach places in London and try and get the London scene going. And I think similar to the approach I was going to take before anyway, I have a feeling that like it's maybe more necessary now than before to make it sound like it is literally like they don't need to do anything. Yeah. So assuming that you have like a local Go judge who can back the whole thing, then potentially selling it to the store as being like, look, honestly, might not even be inside the store. Do you know what I mean? Innit? Yeah. Like we literally just need to be, the store under name, but we can run everything separately. If you don't have space inside the store, we can do it outside the store because, do you know what I mean? Innit? If it's really like that bad, and just having everything done like completely separately, but just under the name of the store, because that seems like what the biggest change and issue is that being like you can't run a league unless you have a card shop. And that's like, I think that's what you were saying the last tweet that Billa posted about, like, things getting out of hand and things like that. Well, tying it to a card shop allows you to like regulate things a bit more, right? But yeah, I feel like that's probably the approach that's necessary. I was even thinking, like, even from a Dracoviz perspective, so we do support being able to run locals on Dracoviz and like print out the sheets and stuff like that. But I'm even thinking from that perspective, like maybe integrating it even more to the point where it's like it will print out the team sheets, obviously, like, looking exactly how the normal ones do, but even, you'll put in your play ID as well, and just making it as easy as possible for the judges, assuming that it's like a relatively hostile store, to be able to just like run the thing without getting in the TCG's way. Honestly, it sounds peak that this is potentially the route that some people would have to go down, yeah? Because I feel like if there was more incentive from TPCI in general for stores to actually host the other games, then that would kind of alleviate a lot of problems. But as of now, I'm assuming there's no incentive.
Well, they tried with the Go ones, right? They were like, if you don't host Go locals, we're going to take away your store Pokestop.
Do you think they did? I
think some
don't
stores
even care
don't
about
care,
the Pokestop.
Because if they don't care about Go, they don't care about the stop, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, well, they're not our customers anyway.
I know there was one store that is actually, and like this is probably the case for more than one, but I only know of one where that was literally the tip over point for them, where they were like, really? We want our stop. So let's like, I'm assuming the guys
maybe they're a casual Go player themselves. Like, I don't play competitive, but I do want my Squirtle with the party hats. This upcoming anniversary, I need to lure this up. So
I don't think it's that much of an incentive, and I think that going forward, especially with VG in the mix, that they are going to need to introduce some sort of incentive.
100%.
Someone was talking to me about the fact that apparently, and I don't know the specifics of this, and I don't even know how correct it is, but my basic understanding is that by hosting these locals, the stores also got more of the special play Pokemon card packs that most stores in Australia, at the very least, don't give to the Go players. They just seem to farm them up and then redistribute them to the TCG players.
Do you know how wild this sounds? Yeah, where it's like a us versus them sort of thing. Like, come on, man, we're like, it's the same flipping franchise. That's wild. I mean, you know what the thing is? Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even care about the card packs if it's the difference between, letting us host and not, right? Yeah. But like, that's bare scummy, man. Like, allow it. Do you know what I mean?
I got my first card pack the other day, and I think they're sick. I've got them right
here.
Yeah,
I know.
The little play Pokemon logo on it.
You put a sleeve on it and everything.
Oh yeah, I got the world sleeves.
Okay.
I was like, I've been playing TCG Live, the desktop version of TCG.
It's pretty fun.
Into it. It's kind of sick.
I have all those cards that you can scan to add like packs into the game, but I just haven't scanned them.
Yeah. You can sell them though.
Do people buy them? Do people really buy that many?
Because it's like buying a booster pack in the game. So instead of buying a booster pack, they'll just buy it off you for like probably less than the booster pack costs or whatever.
It doesn't feel like it's necessary to again, I'm very new to this whole thing, playing the online TCG thing, but it seems like you get new cards really easy. It doesn't seem like you need to be paying real life money to get booster packs in the game. It does not.
Would you be able to build a deck that just won a tournament?
Really easy.
Yeah.
So easily for free. And like they even give you a ton of like the premium currency for free, like constantly. There's a constant stream of it. It's like you do not need to spend a dime on this thing. And maybe that'll change, but right now, not the case. But so hey, I'll be taking people's card codes for free. Just send them to my DMs.
I might be selling some of mine, so just hit me up in my DMs if you want a good deal. Honestly, a lot of mine I haven't opened. I've just been holding on to the boxes. Because
I think some people buy them as well, like some TCG players, because like you can only get them by entering the thingies in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found this whole thing really interesting, and I'm wondering. Also, I'm not gonna lie. One of the things I was thinking as well is I was like, well, I'd already said at some point I want to make a server for Go organizers worldwide to like help each other in terms of like how to set up locals and get them going and stuff like that. I'm wondering if it's useful to like also liaise with VGC people, because I guess they'll be in the same
there is a
Pokemon
Professors server that exists for everyone with the Professor
So,
certification.
so this Professor server, obviously I have no idea how any of it works, right? Yeah, but with all official servers, I feel like with all like official things, you don't think it's official?
Sure.
Oh, okay,
okay. Pretty sure it's community run.
Okay, because I feel like with a lot of official stuff, there's always stuff you can and can't say. Do you know what I mean? And and it sounds like complaining about like not having locals would be on the list of things you can't say.
Nah.
But if it's a community,
I'm pretty sure it's community run anyway. Cool. But like, if 2 of the 3 games are now in the same boat,
then it could be quite useful actually. Because again, in it could be a case of like, maybe the communities combine, where it's like, well, we're just because also they're taking up like roughly the same resources anyway. Maybe they organize on a day when the TCG is. It's like, roughly the same. It's just like seat space, right? And
as
like,
Caleb said, like they need Wi-Fi, like they need internet to run this thing.
Yeah, true.
There's like some card shops that I go to for Go challenges and cups, and they don't have like public Wi-Fi, so we just have to use our data.
Mad, yeah.
We've literally like, it is not even a thought at any of the locals I've attended at any of the venues that we're using our data. Like that is just
really? There's some that are really nice.
You lot are living in like third world countries, bro.
Hey, look, cost of living. Well, I don't know about Australia, but cost of living in NA is expensive. They got
cost of living's expensive here, but I feel like Wi-Fi is a given. But
we don't even have free healthcare, right? What you expect free Wi-Fi for, right? People be dying here because they don't have good healthcare. You think Wi-Fi is important here? Come on now.
Hey, if you're like choking on something, at least you can like Google it in the street and see what to do.
Yeah, you gotta pay for WebMD here too.
I'll take the real doctor over WebMD. Thanks.
Yeah,
take what you can get.
But anyway, I thought it was an interesting tweet series, and hopefully locals do improve. I mean, not just for VG, for Go as well, and all the games too. I mean, TCG seems like it makes sense. It's tough though from TBCI's perspective. Like, what do you do to solve this, right? Like, how do you incentivize? The only way I could see them doing it is they say, look, you're not allowed to host TCG locals anymore unless you host VG and Go equally. But like, it's just that's such that's a lot of burden on the card shops too. Because I get it, they need to make money. They can't just have like a ton of people just in their store not buying their product, just taking up space, right? But I don't know how PAX card shops are, and I know a lot of these card shops, they don't just do Pokemon, right? They do like, Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh and One Piece and all the other stuff, right? For their business, because they can't just. Most aren't.
I'd like to see something. I don't know if this is necessarily an incentive or not, but I'd like to see something. Maybe like for stores that do host the other 2 games, you can now host like 1 extra cup per quarter. Something like that. I feel like that would be a good incentive. I mean, I don't know from a TCG player's perspective if they feel like that's an incentive or not. But like from a Go perspective, I feel like that would be an incentive. If I was like, I would love if a store could host an extra cup a quarter. I think that's like, a cool thing to be able to do. So I don't know. But I mean, I think at the very least, if progress is usually on I mean, sometimes it can happen mid-season, but like a lot of the time it's like on a seasonal basis. I have a feeling that if this carries on in this way, then it will be very obvious next season that VGC are having problems, and it might spur the Pokemon companies to actually change something in it. Because when we have problems, I feel like they just always think we have problems. But if VGC are also having problems, then they might like pay a bit more attention.
Yeah, VG's a big game too. I mean, I know there's more prizing and more players for TCG, but VG always wraps up every IC and Worlds, right? Their last one, they dim the lights, they make it look like a theater, right?
Yeah,
is that just me, or is that just like their light colors? They dim the lights for it, right? They make it look more like. Do you not remember?
I imagine
Worlds?
they probably do.
Remember Worlds last year? They had like when VG finals were going on, it was like darker and it was like more cinematic almost.
I feel like it could. Just be a light thing. Like it could be green what? And the blue's a bit lighter. The red's a bit
you think it's a color thing? I thought it literally felt more epic.
I guess also because they don't have the two side screens as well, because it's just one stage.
No, they usually put it all on all the same. But then, but that doesn't change for Go and TCG on the final day either. Yeah. Like it feels different. All right, just pay attention at Worlds, right? I guarantee it feels different. Also, it helps us later in the day, so like all these people that are hungover and stuff can actually show up, right? Like Go players, like for these events, they're like all hungover, sleeping in because they're out late the night before because they didn't make Championship Sunday, right? They're not 1 to 2 people, 1 to 3 people for ICs, and then they're just chilling.
Last Worlds, yeah. Shout out EJ and Lurgan, yeah, because flipping, I get this, yeah. I couldn't. So obviously we hosted the social, yeah. I was living in Tokyo, yeah. Everything was happening in Yokohama. I couldn't go home because all my stuff was at the social, so I had to stay till the very end. Yeah, bruv, it was 5 a.m. It was light again in Yokohama, and I was like, "Well, I'm not going to go home now because I want to see the finals as well." Yeah,
you just went straight to the finals.
Well, shout out EJ and Lurgan. They actually let me stay at theirs, and EJ actually gave me his bed, which was nice. So I slept there for like a couple hours.
What a
friend. Literally.
What did EJ sleep on too? That guy's huge,
bruv. He didn't sleep.
He didn't sleep.
He slept after I woke up, but I was like, bruv. You didn't have to. I literally, I said, I was like, bruv, I'll sleep on the floor. Yeah, I don't even mind. Yeah. He was like, no, take the bed. I was like, bruv.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, the man was drunk as, right? Like
he was, yeah, but
you just exploited a guy.
Yeah. Were they saying nothing? He was still chatting and stuff? Was it just him?
No, because everyone was gone in it. I think he even went for another drink, which was mad.
Wow.
But yeah, shout out EJ. Anyone see him at the next event? Buy him a beer.
Take his bed. I'm just kidding. Hawaii's a lot smaller too than Japan, so I assume you'll probably be... Well,
it'll be way easier.
You already have your accommodations booked, right? Or generally?
Yeah.
How far are you from the venue?
I haven't checked.
Well, are you playing another World Social this year or no? What's the plan?
No, I'm not. I hope someone is, yeah, but
I don't know a lot of NA players that are from Hawaii.
I feel like
I know, but I'm not from Japan. Do you know what I mean? Isn't it? You know.
Well, no, I know. What I'm saying is like, there's not. I mean, yeah, but like a lot of Japanese players, like they don't know like as many people as you do from around the world. So hosting a World Social is a little bit harder from someone native to Japan. I just don't know anyone that PP that's native to Hawaii in general.
No, but I don't think they do need to be native to Hawaii. I think just an American can do it. Do you know what I mean? Innit?
You've never
can do it. Whether they will do it.
You've never been to NA regional. Let me just tell you, right?
Whether they will do it or not is
ain't no like region-wide social, right? Everyone has their own little gatherings at best, right? But it's not like, hey, everyone.
Well, I really, really hope they do it because honestly, like again, in it, I think this is one thing that's. I mean, I don't know about the other games.
Let's put it this way. When did you start promoting the Japanese Japan Yokohama World Social? When did you start promoting?
Oh, bruv, literally. Not even start promoting, bruv. When did I start organizing it? I started organizing it 2 weeks before.
I know. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think I started promoting it exactly the same time.
I think there were text murmurs, I was just saying.
Right? Yeah. We got a lot of time.
But you said you were going to, right? Like for a while. You know?
Yeah.
So it's a little different. I don't know anyone that's planning any World Social this year.
I swear I saw Lankern say something in some chat at some point. I don't know if he's got the follow through. I just don't know. But that is that actually true that in NA there's like no big social thing going on?
This is what I hear, innit? Yeah, these men are so antisocial. Yeah.
That's wild. So, I mean, obviously, like you know, Europe. Well, I mean, London's finest exists. Hey, like Delhi.
We might be antisocial, but we're good at the game. You know, we're not out late drinking every night, so we play better.
Yeah, I can't lie. Yeah, like big shout out to London's finest, innit? Yeah, because like I think they did set the precedent for regional socials. Because I don't know like what it was like in thingy. But like, obviously, the regionals started kind of. Well, I mean, the first regional was in Europe, but we didn't really have a social then. But like, yeah, I feel like they kind of set the precedent. I think Worlds.
Wait, hang on. Precedent
Worlds.
for who? Because London's Finest just keeps on doing it in Europe. Apparently, NA has not caught on.
So, yeah, true that.
In Australia,
precedent in my mind, I guess. Yeah. in my mind,
sick, man. Like Australia,
Australia does it well as well. You know what? This is the mad thing as well, because like when I went to Australia, yeah, I'd only been to European events, and then my first event was OCIC, and I was like, oh yeah, it's just the same like it is in all the European events, yeah. Just assuming that this was the case everywhere, and turns out it's not.
Yeah. Man, that's wild. Like even just like at the end of Australian events, sometimes we don't necessarily even have somewhere to go. We just sort of like poddle around and like, oh,
we had nowhere to go for Melbourne, and we just
and we found somewhere.
Yeah, but I feel like Australia too. It's a much smaller crowd, and then there's also like I feel like there's a sense of like us against the world, because a lot of people like to like crap on Australian players for whatever reason. I don't know why. We go, oh, Aussies, you're there, right? So I feel like every time Australians are at Adventure, they're always taking pictures like, yo, all the Aussies here, right? Like we're all at Go Fest, or we're all like we're all on Bourbon Street or something at NAIC or whatever. I mean, I don't think there's any that went to NAIC, but like whenever they're at events together, they're always like Yokohama. I saw a lot of photos of all the Australians hanging out, right?
The camaraderie is very real, and like that was the case in Yokohama. It was actually really sick. Like I didn't really know how it was going to be going in, but like all of the Aussies sort of like clumped together as we were like sort of hopping around watching people when they were on streams. Like when there was the like Vish versus Yakko game on stream, like all of the Aussies all sort of pulled in towards the front and we all watched. When Avrip was battling on the tables at some point, but he was plugged into the screen because they had the TVs at the end of the tables that streamed the end row matches. And so like we again all huddled around to watch that. So like it was very much and even on maybe it was Sunday night after Worlds, like the Aussies again, we're all together. We went out on we went to Chinatown and just like sort of went in a rogue pass on through. So it does feel like a very tighter community than EU or NA. But part of it's the size thing, but also I think it's just I think Melbourne was around 60 people, and it's like, well, these are the same 60 people we're seeing at every event. It's like it's hard to sort of
but you know what this is, we have this in EU as well, where it's just like, oh, but we see everyone at every event in it because it's like
so easy
relative.
to
travel. Because it's easy. So maybe you could say that might be a part of it, where it's like, I don't know how many of the same faces you're seeing at every NA event.
I think there's just a lack of motivation to host these socials. I think there were a lot more. Like NAIC the first year, I think Kaiser's usually a little late for the party, but he's been busy lately, so he hasn't gone to as many. But like if Kaiser's at an event, he'll usually there will usually some big party. But
actually, no. Even so, there was this. When I was in, and you've made me think of this because Kaiser was there. But when I was in Pittsburgh, we did like Geodude Com Day, and then there was this Antimatter Gaming was hosting a tournament. Like an in-person tournament. And so we were sort of all at that. We did that and then we finished up. And then we were kind of like, was it after that? Or was it after Com Day? Oh no, I think it was after the tournament. We were like, all right, well, what do we do now? Like where do we head? And so like we just sort of walked down the street and we went and got ice creams. Then it was like, night's still young. Where do we go? And we just sort of, again, like the gang of us all collectively, like, I don't know if there were 20, 25, I don't know how many people it ended up being, but we all just like, oh, let's find a karaoke place. And so we, found a karaoke place. We sort of wandered over there. Turns out it wasn't karaoke, like karaoke closed up. They had a band going instead. And we were like, but we just like collectively moved to a place where we could sort of, get bevies, a little bit of food, which is exactly how the Australian stuff works. It's just like, hey, we are all together right now. Let's collectively just meander to the next thing. It's not planned. It just happens.
Yeah.
So that was in NA, but I mean, I think maybe me and Kaiser were pushing that. I'm not sure.
Possibly. Well, like I said, if neither of you are pushing it for this year,
man, there's got to be something.
You're gonna be well rested for Championship Sunday. Let's just put it that way.
Look, I'm not saying I'm gonna do anything in it, yeah. But if it does get very soon to the thing and no one sorted anything out, yeah.
2 weeks beforehand, what do you do if you hear no word of a World Social? Do you start planning?
Maybe, yeah. I don't really want to though, but maybe. But you know what I might do? I might do something proper simple where it's like
plate,
just find if it's like 2 weeks before nobody's organized anything, I might just find like a venue and that's it, and just be like, okay, well everyone's going here, innit? Because that's like minimal effort, and at least that's all you really need. Do you know what I mean? And you just need a place where everyone can go in it. So maybe I just do that if nothing's been done. But hopefully people are on it. I think I also heard that Lankan was trying to do something. So hopefully he does something. Because I don't want to do anything, man.
I don't know where.
I already got so much stuff to organize. So
what you got to organize? What you got to organize? Tell me all these so much things, right? You gotta have at least like 5 examples here. Well, what's the
I could give you 5 examples in it, but we'll do this off camera.
Lankard actually commented on our last episode too, so maybe Lankard could confirm or deny.
Yes,
that is true. I found the message. It's on the 13th of June. He was like, I've started looking for venue for socials if people are keen on that. If anyone knows any locals or want to help me out, DM me.
So that's good.
Lankard might be the hero we need.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Anyway, we definitely got off topic here, but that's all good here. I think that wraps it up for us over here. But shout out again to Steve for joining us at such an early hour. And this is the last you'll see of Anicor, Coriander the Clown, unless he ASMR.
Yeah. So again, just so people know, so for the 3rd week, I wore both ties.
Okay.
Oh, it's behind the microphone.
The clown's evolving.
Week 1, that was.
But this wig is really itchy, so I'm pretty excited about this. I'm gonna also try and return it to Amazon. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think Jeff Bezos is watching this podcast, so I think we're.
I should have done it with the Misty wig as well, innit? But I didn't think that far ahead.
No, the Misty wig can come in handy. You could definitely be Misty again in the future, at events. Maybe. You rocked it pretty well. Dude, the dancing video that Penchu made of you.
I didn't even know it was me, bro.
Look at Penchu's Twitter and you'll find it, right? Because it was because you went you put your you did a little peace sign in the original photo that he AI generated, and so it's has a finger in your face, but it looked like you had a scar. I was like, that doesn't. I was like. Man, that does look a lot like Anicor, but maybe not. But I was I don't think Anicor danced like that,
that was kind of wild.
That was so good. Whatever app he used, man, I might need it to use it one day. Penchu, do something with the clown face, actually. Now that I think about it. Penchu, if you're listening, do something with the clown, right? I want to see Anicor, Coriander the Clown dance for us, too.
Anicor, you know what? Back. Go stand so you get a full profile.
Yeah. Actually, Anicor, a real quick request before we end this episode. Step back and give me your best little dance, right? And then we'll compare it to the AI-generated dance. Give me your best clown dance, right? And then we can see it.
Okay, bro. What's a clown dance, though, isn't it?
I don't know. Dude, I don't know.
Feel inspired.
Give me something.
Oh, yeah. We got to get the head in there. Oh, no.
I didn't think he was going to do it.
He's psyching up. He's ready to go.
All right.
Oh, God.
Give me some more movement. That's good enough. That's good enough. Okay, we'll see if Penchu could do something for us there, but we'll see. No pressure, Penchu. Anyway, that wraps it up for us. We will catch you all next week. We got some exciting news to bring up, but stay tuned. But until then, have a good one and peace out.
Safe. Bye.